Hi, you guys. I'm gonna give you guys a review of Basketball Wives, the latest episode. Basically, we're to the point where we meet up with Jackie again. British is to the point where she basically is letting the girls know that she is not upset with Jackie for her last shenanigan that she pulled, basically trying to get her back with her ex. Basically, British let everybody know that she does still have feelings for her ex, but it's not to the point where she would think about getting back in a relationship with him. She says in her mind she feel like it's best that they stay like they are and that's co-parenting. But she said she would be ready to entertain the idea of them getting back together, but she know that her ex is not to the point where he wants to be faithful, and most important, she know it's not going to work. She also decides that she wanted to speak to her kid's father. It was his week to have their daughter. They share together. She basically lets him know that she did not like the fact that his current girlfriend posted a picture on social media of her daughter. Like she told him, she said she don't have no control over who he dates, but she do have control over who dating him when it comes to putting posts of her daughter. She said she did. She felt that was total disrespect and that she need to check he need to check her at the door and let her know that that's a no go and that she don't do no mess like that. He was basically letting her know, he didn't feel like the picture was inappropriate. Pretty was like, it's not a matter whether it was inappropriate. It's the point I don't want her posting pictures of my daughter. I personally can kind of relate to what she's saying. Basically, what she's saying, true enough, you might be with him, Orlando or whatever, but you ain't to the point where you feel like you can be comfortable enough to feel like you stepmommy to my kid and then go so far as to post a pic. No, ma'am. I feel her on that. At some point you got to have some type of boundaries and you got to let them know what it is. And more importantly, I think if he don't check her, I would be to the point. If I was British, I would check the woman myself. I would say it in a nice way. Long as she don't go left with it. Well, Basketball Wives is doing what it's supposed to do. We're to the point where we go over there to Angel Brink's actual building. She meets up with Jackie, and that's to the point where they speak, about her, you know, things that are going on with her, the baby, her and Rocco. She lets everybody know that she's actually doing really, really well. She's coming along her pregnancy. She's also letting know she has some new designs that she's coming up with for future artists. She says she's working on something for Megan Thee Stallion, which I thought was really, really cute and nice. I think it's one thing where she said she also had dressed Beyonce in the past, but she is one of the A-list designers that people go to, especially for custom made outfits. I personally would be glad when I can get in enough of money where I could be in that tax bracket where I can afford to get her to make me some custom. But yeah, Angel is very gifted in what she does. She lets us in her home life. She basically has a conversation with her son and her daughter. She's letting them know, that the baby's approaching, as the baby's about to come. And she's already discussed with her son living arrangements because she's telling him basically that the room that he has, that they're going to give it to the baby and they're going to give him the outside guest area. And the way her house is made, she's built like a mansion type, and she has basically like a pool room, so as guest room. She gonna give all that to him to actually live in. And she was telling him that he's blessed because most people all they do is when a new baby comes, they either switch rooms or have it go. He was telling her he really liked the room and he would be open to keeping the crib in the room with him. And she was like, "You really would be open to that?" She was like, "I don't think that's necessary. I think we'll still get a baby the room. That way the baby won't have to be so far away in the house. So we'll give you the guest room and you have all that to yourself." So she walks him down, lets him see just how spacious it is. He's to the point where he basically walked from there to, if he had a car outside. That's basically how the floor plan is. He's amazed at first about how big and spacious it is. And the more she talks, he's entertained the fact that he can, like she said, have a lot of freedom down there as opposed to being in another room in the house. So I think he's on board with it or whatever. It looks like the young lady who's her daughter is actually excited. Also, we're to the point where we speak to Brooke. Brooke is letting her in on her world, just like they said on the last episode. Brooke just recently got married. She introduced her husband to the ladies. It's one of those things where we've known Brooke before. She's not really OG, but she was there a couple seasons back. And I was glad to kind of see Brooke back because she was in a different element. First time she was back, she was single. She was doing whatever the girls would do. She was down with whatever. She was based on Malaysia's level when it came to being single. It's kind of nice to see her now playing the wife role, and it is what it is. Her husband basically is still playing basketball, so she enjoying, she said, the off season and spending more time with him. She also lets the women know that she is trying to get pregnant. We also to the point where we deal with DJ Duffy. She's to the point where she basically was telling her fiance, same thing. She doesn't want to settle down as far as DJing, meaning she don't want to quit. She don't want to slow down, nothing like that. he basically said he's not trying to make her quit, but he kind of wants her to stay at home a little more often because he said, these true enough they are sharing the responsibilities of co-parenting, but he said he's about to go back to training. He wants her to be more hands-on, if that makes sense. Also, she tells him that she was told by somebody that they was gonna try to interfere in in a relationship by saying that they was gonna throw an accusation that she actually was cheating. He basically laughed and said whoever would come to him like that, he would already know that's a lie. Because in the day, he said he trusts her, and she said she's glad that he does. And she was like, I couldn't believe the audacity of them to try to do something like that. And then it really would make them look crazy because in the day, they already know that I love you. He was like, I feel the same. I thought it was really, real cute, touching moment that they was on that type of level. They ain't let no type of outside friction, break up what they got going on. Because a lot of men, all they want to hear is that they even think that you're cheating. And a lot of times they gonna entertain it. I think the particular person she was speaking of, they basically was saying that because they were upset about something that they had as far as the discussion. But everybody's to the point they already in attendance or whatever. Jackie is to the point, she's basically trying to mingle in with the girls, trying to find her way in there. You already had a bump in the road with British, but British got her together, so I guess they all right. Malaysia to the point she's interjecting a little more with the ladies. She had a little a mental breakdown. Because she was reminded of the fact that her husband is not paying child support. She went to Jackie and told Jackie what it was. Jackie basically gave her a helping hand. Most importantly, gave her a shoulder to cry on. She was telling Malaysia that everything would be okay, everything would get where it needs to be. Malaysia letting everybody that she know that she's reinventing herself. She's developing her lifestyle as a single mom, and most importantly, she's getting adjusted, to mom life. And it is what it is. She still is co-parenting with her ex. I think it's one of the things where Malaysia is doesn't really want to come to terms with the fact that she's a single mom. I think she still got a little rough spot, a little patch for her ex, but I don't think he one of the types that want to do right. Bring that bicycle back in here. I think it's kind of hard to grasp the fact that she's not a basketball wife. She is, according to the show, but in the sense of being married, because you could tell when they was married, she was more in a better space. That's just my observation. And Brandy's to the point where I don't know if she's married or not because she hadn't said anything about it. Either way, she hadn't presented her husband or nothing like that. But I'm assuming they were married. Last time I saw Brandy, she wasn't on the show. She was actually in counseling. She was on a Yana Fix My Life, and she basically was telling Yana how unfaithful her husband was. He was unfaithful. I think it was over 20 times. I was like, my God, at this point, girl, you need to run, not go run. So I don't know if she went back to that relationship, what she got going on, I don't know. But I know her and Malaysia are at a crossroad, and that's the whole center of this actual storyline. Everybody's to the point where they're focusing on the fact that they're not speaking. Because at the end of the day, they were good Judys. If you don't know what Judy is, I mean, they were the best of friends, uh, especially when Evelyn and Tammy were on there. But yeah, we got to see what this giving, and most importantly, this episode was okay. It wasn't as good as the last episode, but the ladies gonna bring it. They did not have Jennifer on this time. I guess Jennifer is out somewhere moonlighting with her blind date. I really like the fact that him and her kicked it off, and most important that they liked each other. I hope he's to the point where he actually will be a fit for her, and they actually will be a couple. Because Jennifer's one of those type of people you want to see her win when it comes to love, especially when you think back, a couple episodes back when her ex-husband, the way he did her. Because at the scene, in my mind, I felt like he was just being jealous. She was basically trying to speak to him, and it was at the point where they was about to finalize their divorce. He gets ready to stand up, and I think he getting ready to leave. He takes whatever he was drinking and throw it in her face. And I said to myself, not only was he disrespectful, but most important, you could tell he's still jealous of the fact that she's about to be a single woman. He knows she ain't gonna be single too long. It's one of the things where he don't want her, but he don't want nobody else to have her. But I'm kind of glad she ain't in that relationship no more because you could tell it was mentally taking a toll on her. And if you see Jennifer, even on Instagram, and I definitely know in person, she's a gorgeous woman. But most of the women on here are doing what they supposed to do. They giving, they entertaining, they serving. My favorite lady this season has to be British because she basically is the underdog and she's basically shining. Now I like Brooke as well, but Brooke ain't really, giving like she should. British is actually showing us that she's grown as a woman. She's actually co-parenting with her actual ex, which I think it shows a lot of growth for her. Also, she had a scare off the show where they basically said allegedly that she was getting in trouble with some type of tax fraud. I don't know if that was just people throwing stuff out there, if it was true or not. But it looks like she's okay with that, and that's water on the bridge. I'm trying to root for Malaysia, but Malaysia keep she come in and out. I don't know what she got going on. I think she done this thing with her ex. take too much of a toll on her, and it's basically becoming a part of her when it shouldn't be. She needs to embrace the fact that they've been, divorced for a minute. And she needs to, accept the fact that she's a single woman, and most importantly, embrace the fact that they can co-parent. It looks like the co-parenting part is doing well, so that's why I keep spinning the narrative that maybe it's that she want to get back with him. I don't know what it is. They do have, I don't say grown kids, but they got teenage kids. They got 3 kids together. Jackie, she gonna always be the queen bee, especially with Evelyn and Tammy gone. So in a way, she trying to hold her own. She's always gonna tell her about her husband. Miss Jackie gonna keep her nasty little dress in order to remarry her husband, cause they get married every year. They did it on the first season, the first episode this season. I gave you guys a review of that. The way it was pretty good. I like the fact that DJ Duffy was the DJ. So it is what it is. We trying to see what Miss in other words, the host of the basketball right. The reason why they are doing it, Shawnee. Off the scene, Shawnee did get married to the pastor. So I saw pictures of her wedding. She actually was on the cover of Ebony. She was a gorgeous bride. Looked like she was really happy. I guess a chapter with her and Shaq is officially closed, so she opened a new chapter. So hopefully everything will go well with her. We haven't been seeing her pop up on the actual show, on there, but we know she is executive producer, so she's still behind it on the scene, behind the scenes, because she's, in other words, she's the reason why, basketball why it is what it is. But I just had to let you guys know what was going on to give you guys a review of this particular basketball wise. We also gonna slide off basketball wise. We're gonna slide off into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now we're to the point we get with Martell and we deal with Marceau. It's one of those things where Marceau is still doing what he do. He lying to Kimmy and not Kimmy, lying to Tisha, and she's taking it all in. Now, this particular episode, we did not see Miss Wanda, so I don't know if the rumors that people are saying that she's not on the show. I don't know if that's true or not. We have to wait and see. But Miss Wanda got into a little scuffle, her and Melody. Melody to the point where she trying to chop it up with the new lady, and basically they were recapping the actual trip they had because this young lady was trying to go find her birth parents. Lewis is to the point where he basically is like he's saying he trying to get over the fact that him and his wife are having tension. And when I say tension, I mean sexual tension. She assures him that she will make more time for sex. She said even if she got to put it on her calendar or to-do list. Lewis' eyes light up like a Christmas tree. I guess he's saying first. Now he finally gonna get it in. He ain't gotta be sexually frustrated. Martell still doing, throwing his weight around. It is what it is. I personally think Martell's cute, but at the end of the day, I was in a group on Facebook and people was cackling and coming for me. And I just made a little general statement. I said, "Hey, I would take him. I'd be his side piece." They was like, "Oh, you want to be his coleslaw or his gravy?" I was like, "Whatever." It ain't one of those things where people got to take it so serious because at the end of the day, it's not like I'm really gonna run into Martell. It's a very slim chance I run into Martell, even though we are in the same state. It still be a slim chance I run to him. I got to physically go to Huntsville. I don't live in Huntsville. I live in Montgomery. That's still maybe a 10, 12 hour drive. But it seems like him and Melody are co-parent really well. I caught a snippet of somebody did a video where they actually was on vacay, him, Melody, and the kids, which I thought was a good gesture. Because you could see in the back of his head, Martell really want his family back. But I don't think he want to do right and do what he got to do in order to keep his family, if that makes sense. I think him and Arian are still dibbling and dabbling. They still together because they do have a kid together. So I don't know if they still together relationship wise or not because they haven't posted anything on their social medias. Martell's to the point he's trying to bring his new wine to the forefront. He's gotten to the point where he had a pound of nothing but ladies. They all approved, except for one lady said they wanted him to do a pink version. But he trying to spin the narrative that he did this wine in remembrance of a family member. His uncle was not feeling it. He basically told him, you're going to have to do a little better when it comes to that preservation. And most importantly, you have to give homage to this particular person by saying their name and telling us why you chose them to actually dedicate the wine to. I think he basically just trying to come for views when it comes to that actual wine, because at first he said it was inspired by him and Melody's relationship because that's what they used to do, drink wine. So now to hear that it's inspired by a relative, I don't know. He all over the place with that. But I personally would like to purchase some and see what it tastes like. Now they're saying the wine that Marceau and Tisha had is actually doing good. If you're not familiar with them, they actually have a club as well called Black. They haven't did any scenes or filmed anything this particular episode in the actual club. But Kimmy's son Jalen is actually one of the people that actually help run it. He one of the managers slash bartenders. But it is what it is. I kind of miss Miss Wanda because Miss Wanda gonna come with it to come on, and most important, Miss Wanda gonna get everybody together, and most important, she ain't finna let you come for Tisha. Now Marcel doing what he do. He steady lying to Tisha. Tisha steady believing him. Kimmy's to the point where I think she's a little ruffled at the fact that her husband actually went to Atlanta and actually got a some type of dance from the stripper because she kept drilling him, asking him what actually happened when they went to the strip club. At first, he was nonchalant. He didn't really want to say specifically what happened, but he made sure he let her know that Martell was the only one that actually got a lap dance. Now Martell basically tells the actual stripper that he wants her to be baby mother to his, he wants her to be baby number 6. I was like, wow, Martell, this is what we doing. I think one thing he probably just said that for the camera. Then again, he could be one of them type of niggas. He might drop sperm anyway. I hope not. Hoping Arion will be the last one to actually have his baby. Not saying she should have had his seed. He should have kept all his seeds with his wife, and he should have been trying to rekindle that. But it is what it is. Martell gonna do what he want to do. I think he kind of secretly joined the fact that he's single because he basically took that trip and made it a guys trip, and all the guys were down for it. They needed a little rest and relaxation. I think out of all the guys, Lou is the one that actually enjoyed it the most. He was able to get some attention from different women. It is what it is. I think one of the things with his wife is not giving him the kind of attention he wants because, like I just told you earlier, they had to basically make a date to have sex. Now, me personally, I never been married. I have been in a long term relationship. But if you to the point where you got to actually make time to have sex with your mate, baby, something ain't right. You supposed to be having sex on a regular. He shouldn't even feel to the point that you starving him when it comes to sex. And definitely when it's your husband, because you don't want your husband stepping out and finding a side piece. Not saying that's why Martell stepped out on Melanie, but that's the lie he going with. I think it's one of the things he wanted his cake and eat it too. Now he got area and he really don't want it. It be that way sometimes. But I like the fact that Melanie has come into her own, and most importantly, she's been a boss babe that she want to be. They haven't showed Stormy this particular episode, and they haven't even showed Destiny. It's just basically been the guys and about them on the trip. And now that they're back, their wives are grilling them. Tisha looked like she was giving Marceau the side eye why what he was doing in the club. You know how Marceau do. He gonna skip over the parts. He won't about himself, but he gonna make reference to whatever everybody else did. He gave the same lie his brother did, Maurice, basically telling about how it was all Martell's idea. Martell basically got, all the attention from the strippers. True enough, they wasn't all over the women. I have to say that. They was acting like they was married. They sat around, they smoked their cigar, they drink and did what they do. I ain't see him touching on nobody. But Maurice admitted, I guess they didn't catch it on camera, that he did touch the woman's butt. When she said that to his wife, he gave him the side eye, like, really? I think it's one of those things too. People was also telling us that I ain't know if it's true or not. But I'm gonna say allegedly. They're saying that he actually got a vasectomy, even though Kimmy don't want to have any more kids. And I'm saying to myself, that says a lot about not only their relationship, but most importantly how they, co-parent and speak to each other. Because at the end of the day, why would you go have a vasectomy, even knowing that you don't have no kids together with this woman? If anybody know the back history, he has a child with his first wife, which is his ex-wife now. Him and Kimmy don't have any kids together. Kimmy has a grown son, which is Jalen, the one I told you that actually helps run Black, which is her sister-in-law Tisha and Marceau's business. But it is what it is with these people. I'm enjoying Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's the shiz naive, as Lil Scrappy say. I like it. I love the vibes they got over there. And they also have an after dark with the executive producer where they bring on different people. And I'm pleased to get you guys know that Bell Collective will be coming back for season 2. I personally am ready. I'm lit. I can't wait. When they do start the season, they wrap up or however, when they do season 1, I will be giving you guys a recap. Last time when I was doing reviews on Bell Collector, I basically got behind because it's to the point I was trying to concentrate on other things, but I will be able to give you guys a more in-depth every week review of Bell Collector because I cannot wait for season 2. But Love and Marriage Huntsville, I think in a minute we're gonna be wrapping it up. Maybe we've got probably about maybe 1 or 2 more episodes, and they'll be doing a reunion. I personally cannot wait for the reunion because I want to see the look on Melanie's face when Martell tells her what he been up to as far as that wine and the reason why he did the wine in the first place. But I think it's one of those things where stop. I think Lewis and his wife are gonna take center stage this time because they the only one pretty much that got marital issues. Tisha and Marceau got marital issues, but it's one of the things where it takes two to have marital issues. It looks like uh Better than you. Now go sit your ass down. Yeah, you always got my keys. You always got your rabbit behind over here. Lay down, baby. You got enough balls to go in my purse. You gonna lay your ass down? You better. Okay. I end it. There we go. There we go. Can be quiet.